Good evening to the people of Earth. I hope everybody's doing good. If you are joining this broadcast, it's pretty special because this is an esoteric study session. This isn't like a typical study session that you would see, but it's one that just like talks about some knowledge that usually you wouldn't find in the mainstream. So let's go ahead and get into it, just because I feel that it's really important to read this stuff every day and make sure that we're making good decisions and educating ourselves. So let's go ahead and transition in here. This is Sovereign Starseed. My friends call me Seth. And, just want to start off these sessions with a couple deep breaths. All right, I feel it's good to get into a good space before studying. So, it's been a little while since we've read from Bringers of the Dawn, but tonight we're going to read chapter 11, and it's called Name of the Game. In order to survive in the times that are coming, it is imperative to move into the idea that thought manifestation or superconsciousness into the idea of thought manifestation or superconsciousness. Superconsciousness is only a word to you at this time. It is not a concept that is inside you yet, because you cannot conceive of being so in tune and filled with so much information. Yet, as you evolve, that is what you are moving toward. There are those who are very aware that this movement of consciousness could begin to sweep the planet, and they are banking on it not occurring. It has already occurred. We have come back into your past to assure you of this. Thought comes first. Experience is always secondary. It is never the other way around, that you have the experience and then you base the thought around it. Always your experience is a direct reflection of what you are thinking. Clarity and recognition of your own power are the bottom line. Your thoughts form your world all of the time. Not cafeteria style all the time. Because you are bombarded with so many frequency control vibrations that attempt to keep you from being clear, you fluctuate. You must, as a species, make it your intention to stay very clear, to stay centered, and always to bring yourself into the moment. Stop living in the future or living in the past, and always live in your now. Say to yourself, what do I want? I want to accelerate my personal evolution. I want spirit to assist me in a greater capacity. I want my body to regenerate itself. I want to emanate health. I am willing to give up difficulty so that I can be a living example of what humanity can be. That's beautiful. I want to end up getting this out to the humans. Just gathering some hashtags for us. It is this line of thinking, commanding from your being and calling out what you want with clarity, that brings you everything in acceleration. Watch your patterns. If you find yourself denying that you created a portion of your experience and you don't want to own it as your own creation, simply look at it. Say, "Isn't this interesting?" I do this all of the time. I don't want to own what I'm creating. If I don't like it, I blame someone else. Let me see how long I will do this, and let me come up with a solution to develop a different pattern of behavior. Don't judge yourself. Begin to say to yourself, "I will accept responsibility for all that I am involved in. I will accept responsibility for everything that happens to me. If I don't like what is happening to me, I will begin to ask myself why I create things that I don't like. Maybe it's to get my attention about something so that I can change what is really not working for me that I cannot see." Always act as if there is an impeccable purpose to everything you do. Act as if your highest good and your highest opportunity involve working through every event you are involved in. Always act that way. If you're walking down the street and someone says, "I've got a gun in your back, let's have your purse," act as if you are being given an opportunity for your highest growth. You never know what the results are going to be if you begin to act this way. When you begin to act as if, you act without knowing and without expectation. This is an attitude. If you could have this attitude and act as if every event is designed to propel you further in your growth and awareness, then you might turn around and you might find that the person holding the gun in your back is a counterpart or portion of yourself. You might be able to heal something. You might be given an opportunity to do something you are afraid of. Do not be afraid of what you create. Trust what you create. Trust that there is always something in it for you. Do not sweep your dramas under the rug as if they are dirty old horrible things that you never wish to see them again. Get finished with these dramas. Stop cycling in them and being lost in them. However, understand that the drama that you have had with your mother, your brother, your sister, your lover, is something you may use 20 years later to come to a whole new realization. So let these life dramas be like a file for you. Finish them up, resolve them as best you can, create peace, accept your part in them, and then let them cycle back through your consciousness to teach you something. Let them be ongoing treasures of experience for yourself rather than hackles that you want to get past. Emotion is connected with these things. And remember, emotion can take you into other realms of activity. Do you believe that you only create your reality in certain areas and that in other areas you are disempowered? Do you argue that you have no control over some areas of your life? Do you give up what is naturally yours because society tells you you cannot have it? You will find that events do not come out of the blue. Some of you believe that Some of you believe that you create your own reality, but that others do not create theirs, especially little babies who have all kinds of things happen to them or children who are abused. It is a difficult concept for many of you to grasp that seemingly helpless children or starving people also create their own reality. Whenever you buy into the victim mentality, you send people the idea that they are powerless, and you make that probability one for yourselves. You must learn to honor other people's dramas and lessons. Realize that the newspaper is not going to tell you about the potential for change that exists for all of those involved in a particular scenario, because newspapers do not report and cover things in that way. You do not understand the underlying synchronicities of events. Your media exposes only the external so-called facts and ignores the rich riverbed of emotional significance that accompanies human dramas and lessons. Those who are involved in dramas in which it looks like someone is a victim are usually so out of touch with their feelings that they do not connect how they feel with what they are thinking. Victims find victims, victors find victors. So, please, with any newspaper event or world drama in which it looks as if people are hopeless victims, honor them and honor yourself by saluting that they created their own reality. It may not be a reality that you need to learn from or anything you feel a need to participate in. You must understand that others must go through the realms of density to bring them to light. Sometimes the greatest enlightenment lies in the greatest catastrophes and the greatest difficulties. When you go to a restaurant and order something you want, the chef prepares it and the waiters bring it to you. You order it, however, you don't make it. Somehow the cooks or the spiritual energy make it, yet you select it to be put before you. It will not be put before you unless you go into the restaurant to order it in the first place. So you are responsible for it and you pay for it. Life is the same way. Life is like a restaurant. Learn how to order what you want from life like you do in a restaurant, and then trust that because you ordered it, it will be put before you. Humans need to hear that one. When you go into a restaurant, you don't worry over every item and wonder whether or not you deserve to have it. Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you say, well, I don't deserve to have that. That costs $15. I can only have something that costs $7 or less. That way you act in the way you act in restaurants is a wonderful indication of the way you act in life. It is an incredible teaching to understand. When you go into a restaurant, do you simply order and say, this is what I want, and trust that it is going to come to you? Or do you worry that they are going to screw it up? As soon as the order is in, do you follow the waiter into the kitchen and say, oh, they probably won't have the right lettuce, they probably won't saute those onions just so, and they won't have those kinds of mushrooms I want? No, you trust it will be presented to you exactly the way you want it, and you let it go. When it is presented to you, you say thank you. If it is not quite right, you ask for what is needed and then you proceed. Look at the divine nonchalance you have when you order things in a restaurant. That is how you order up life. Get clear on what you want. Order it and be done with it. Don't keep calling up spirit to see if they got the order or give advice on how to fill it. You ordered it. Trust that it will come. You are a result of your thoughts. If there is nothing else you learn on this planet, you will learn that this is the rule in this reality and the rule of many other realities. Thought creates experience. Why not give yourself a gift and begin to think of yourself in a capacity that is exceptional, magnificent, and uplifting? Free yourselves from the need to have the rest of society agree with you. Validate yourselves. For some of you, this is very difficult. How do you validate yourself when you're in the habit of not doing it? One moment. I'm just going to go ahead and check to make sure that everything is working correctly. Perfect. All right. Dean, thank you for joining. It's hard to say right now what's going to end up happening with BitConnect, but that's why we have these esoteric study sessions. I know that they're paying out, and they did further than USI Tech, so that's awesome. All right. Your words are either empowering or disempowering. We want you to have the courage to live your light. So we want to emphasize to you and convince you in whatever way possible that your thoughts formulate your world. Eliminate the words should and trying from your vocabulary. If you were to pay money every time you say these words, you would be in great debt. You are in a great debt of disempowerment or impotence. Should implies that you are operating under someone else's sovereignty. So humans need to hear this. We would like to remind you that you are sovereign unto yourself. Hey, thank you, Ray of Sunshine, for participating in the study sessions. gotta tweak, guys, just so the humans can have it. If someone is trying to put out a newsletter or trying to change their patterns, they can try for the rest of their life. Trying is not doing. Whenever you use the word trying, you will not accomplish anything because trying is an excuse. I tried to do it. I tried. In your own life, use the words I am creating, I am doing, I am manifesting, I am intending, and I am bringing about. Forget I am trying. When you become a doer and are able to manifest what you want in life, you set yourself up as a mirror for many people. There has been a belief that there is a limited amount of everything and that only one person or the other can be a doer or a manifester. When you begin to show that you can bend the laws they want and they can't get it unless you don't have it. If you put yourself behind others and are afraid of having what others do, if you put yourself behind others and are afraid of having what others do not have because you think there is not enough, you do not understand that as you allow the divine principles to work in your body and anchor themselves upon a planet, that you become a living example of light. You allow the underlying purpose of light to move through your vehicle and you become a living example of what others can do. This is a high vibration that we intend to teach all of you. We want you all to understand that there is no limitation. Humans need to hear this. I could put a lot more into this. There is no limitation on the entire planet. Each person on the whole planet can operate in cooperation and in a uniqueness of being. Whatever gifts of spirit and materiality come your way, don't think that you are more lucky than others. Instead, simply understand that you are able to get the divine principles to work in your physical body and that you can show others how. You can say, listen, it works. I have been able to do it. You can do it as well. We spend hours teaching people about not being afraid to manifest. Each of you is frightened because you grew up with an ethic that says only if you work for something is it of any value. If you do not put in hard work, you cannot get things. It is imperative for all of you to look at this idea of hard work and where it came from. Look at your parents and the belief systems they have had. We are talking about birthing a consciousness that represents the new human species that learns how to do things effortlessly. If something is not being done effortlessly, then forget it. If it looks like it is too much work, something is telling you it is not the way. Only when something comes together effortlessly and simply fits, with no one doing too much to it, is it right. If you all begin to live like this, you will completely change how the species of consciousness approaches life. Okay, humans need this. Getting this out. It is not irresponsible or a cop out. It is a new way of carrying bricks from one place to another. One time we talked about a big pile of bricks with a group of people and asked them, "How do you move the bricks?" They all said, "Well, you pick them up one by one." And we said, "No one ever thought of hiring someone else to do it?" If your assignment is moving bricks from here to there, how are you going to do it? Your first answer may be, "Well, I will move them. I'll pick them up." However, you could go call someone up and say, "Move these bricks for me." If you do that, you are still doing the assignment. You are doing what needs to be done. Do you think we are going to chastise you if you don't do it yourself? No. You are still getting the job done. You see the difference? Money seems to be an issue with everyone. You all have very definitive beliefs about how money comes to you. The more you believe you must work hard for money, the harder you are going to have to work. Here we go. Thank you to everybody tuning in right now. Just checking chat. Yes, I am statements are so powerful, Ray of Sunshine. Thank you for joining the esoteric study session. So many of you believe it is quite normal to work hard for money, and that if you don't work hard for money, then it is dirty. Let us ask you to remember the word effortless and incorporate it into your vocabulary. Say to yourself, "I am effortlessly intending that this come about." To be effortless is to command to reality to bring itself to you in a way that gives room for plenty of energy to be expended in other experimentation. Remember, your reality is a result of your thoughts. If you believe that things are hard, what are you creating? Many of you have spent lifetimes honoring and respecting family members or people of society who you believe are uplifting citizens and who represent to you a certain work ethic and value system. You have not thought to question this work ethic or to see if there is any other way. So you believe that in order to get money, you must expend a great amount of energy, or you must be employed by someone who is going to give it to you, or whatever. These ideas are completely and totally erroneous. We cannot emphasize that enough. When you are allowing, Spirit will compensate you in a variety of unexpected ways. The only reason this has not happened before is that you just haven't believed it was possible. When you believe things are possible, reality changes. State of mind is the name of the game here. We cannot emphasize that to you enough. I'm going to get the humans to see this one. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see all these. Dean's back on. There we go. Riley Cash, he's up on a spaceship right now. What's up? Really? All right, let me go ahead. I'll have to take care of Nightbot here in a moment. Thank you, Riley, for joining. This is not a stream for everyone. So this is a stream for certain people that are called to this. So I just really am grateful for anybody that's joining in right now. So, let me see, make sure I got that one out. Boom. Okay, we cannot emphasize that to you enough. How do you feel about reality and how you program? How you feel about reality and how you program reality is how you are going to respond to it, or how it is going to present itself to you. That is why we say, go for it. Be outrageous. Do what excites you. Do the impossible. You can do it. You can do whatever you want to do. You will transform your world no matter what state the world is in. Yep. Getting this one out to Earth. Feels good to be able to get this out to Earth. What do you guys think? Do you think this is like good content compared to some of the other content that's being made? Remember, when you learn the rules of the game, that you are a result of thought and that this is a law within your universe, all you need to do is think of how you want to be, and so you shall be. Once you figure this out, you could design your body, you could design your age, and you could fix everything about yourself, because you will be self-motivated, self-empowered, and self-generated. And that's it for tonight's study session. And I thank you guys. I thank everybody for paying attention tonight and taking a look at this. Um, yeah, I don't do these study sessions on a regular basis just because, yeah, they only come when they're called. But I will say this is, I just appreciate everybody for paying attention to this, for diving into this. This is absolutely not mainstream. This is not something you would expect to see every day during your daily life. So I firmly believe that if you are watching this right now and you've tuned in, then there was a synchronicity. There was something that called you to this. That's just my opinion. That thing can change all the time. But I just really thank anybody for really paying attention to these streams, because these streams are really some of my favorite streams. So appreciative of everybody that joined tonight. You guys are what makes this channel happen, these sessions happen. And we'll be back tomorrow night, at least to end up giving out some crypto news. And I appreciate everybody again. Thank you so much for tuning into Sovereign Starseed. I'm going to go ahead and transition out. Shout outs to everyone. Shout outs to Dean for staying aboard. Shout outs to Riley for being so emoji happy. Bro, if you want those emojis to pop up all over the screen, you got to do it through the Twitch chat. That's all. I don't know how to get it through YouTube. YouTube just will never incorporate something like that. So if you want them to float across the spaceship, you just got to be in Twitch chat. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody. And I appreciate Nightbot for trying to shut Riley down. Just playing. We'll end up taking care of that, because I love the emojis. I love all of you guys for being here and for experiencing this with me. It's truly an honor to be able to be on the planet at this time with you, and to anybody that was called to something as unique as this tonight. So I'm super grateful for you. And with that, I'm just going to say this is Sovereign Starseed saying good night to all the humans and the starseeds of Earth. And we will see you tomorrow for at least the esoteric study sessions. Or I'm sorry, for the crypto news. So thank you to everybody again. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Hey, use a blessing too, my friend. Oh, I love all these emojis. I didn't even know they had an Om emoji like that. Yeah, Nightbot. We'll talk to Nightbot. We'll get to Nightbot tomorrow. By tomorrow. Have a good night, fam. This is Sovereign Starseed saying good night to all the humans of Earth, the starseeds of Earth, the organic people living good lives of Earth, all the kings and queens that have yet to awaken and that have awakened on Earth. Have a great evening until the next study session.